All right, are you ready? Right now, Inas and I are going to work on Lab 4. Ha 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 ha. And this is a ArcGIS Pro project, so I've started a new map on here. And while I'm waiting for Inas, I'm going to go to map and I'm going to add a base map that I think is cool. I like going with imagery hybrids. I always think that they're the bestest of the bestest. And come on in and see stuff here. Um, so, and now, all right, so we have this lab number 4, and we're going to learn to use map algebra raster overlay to analyze land cover change. And that's going to be fun because algebra is marvelous. Learn to use exploratory methods, charts, and tables to analyze land cover change. That's cool. Like exploring. I'm a National Geographic Explorer after all. Learn to analyze relation between land cover change and other variables. Example, elevation. I'm sure that'll elevate the conversation. And then, and land cover change is important because the developers are destroying the planet. These rapacious builders who don't care about sustainability. Before we begin with the exercise, make sure you've downloaded all the data from here. So we click on that and it gets redirected and we go down and we, I want to get all that data. How do I do that? I got to go right click maybe? No, not right click. I open it. I want to open it. I want to download, which is here. Okay. Yay, hooray for that. Alrighty then. And what do we got? So we got that data downloaded there. And I'm going to go to the folder as I do. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to cut it out of that folder. And I'm going to go to GIS database. Is that GIS not showing up, the GIS database? So I'm going to go to DData and go to ArcGIS and open it up, and they have GIS Labs data, and I'm going to put Lab 4 in there. All right, I'm going to unzip it too, because that's what you got to do, extract it. Alrighty, you all know about that. All right, so while it's doing that, we can close this up. Oh, double click on it. All right, and then extract the files. Remember to change the file paths accordingly in the exercises will do. You're going to use ArcGIS Pro to detect and analyze land cover change in Hammond City, Louisiana. And it gives a link to it, so I suppose that it's going to open a Google map. I knew it was going to do that. And it's got a swimming pool. How great. All right, so this is where we are in Hammond, Louisiana. There's Hammond. All right, Louisiana. Hammond, Louisiana. Land cover changes. Well, it's all been turned into subdivisions, so how disgusting is that? Grid pattern. Hardly any forest left in Hammond. I bet there's a lot of Walmarts, though. What a mess. And they call a park, but it's just a bunch of grass and a really dirty pond with a playground. Oh, Lordy, I would hate to live in Hammond. Hammond, what a yucky place. That's where the Children's Discovery Center is, really? In this awful looking area? Good luck. Okay, so this is a good place to pick because it sucks. All right, so what about Hammond? It's one of the most coastal areas in the U.S. Coastal Louisiana has endured multiple threats, including hurricanes, floods, wetland erosion, and oil spills. Really? I didn't realize. I need to zoom out on that. Like, how close is it to the coast? Oh, it is near the coast. There's Hammond, right up in that dirty bay over there. Cancer Alley, probably. Near Mobile, Alabama, near Baton Rouge. And lots of erosion down in here. Okay, Hammond. Yeah, floods, wetlands, erosions, oil spills. Hammond City is located in the north shore of Lake Pontchartrain and 60 miles away from both New Orleans and Baton Rouge, the two largest cities. Population of Hammond's been growing rapidly in 20 years due to the influx of immigrants. Build a wall. From the south after Hurricane Katrina, and it's adjacent. Oh, from the south, they mean from Florida. Yeah, that south. Immigrants from the south, they mean Florida, because you ain't immigrating in here to Hammond from down here. Ain't no boat people coming in. So when they say the south, they don't even mean from Texas, because Katrina hit the hell out of New Orleans. So they mean south. They mean immigrants coming from New Orleans down here, which got hit hard by Katrina. And so they're all going north on that 55 and over the 10, those sneaky people. And over this bridge here, whatever that bridge is there, they're going across that bridge even sneakier because it doesn't even have a number on it. And they're going up to 10 and the 61 and all sorts of sneaky ways into Ponchatoula. Sneaky immigrants from the south. I said build a wall right on through Lake Pontchartrain. Keep them people out of there. All right, so they're all coming in there. An influx of immigrants from Louisiana's New Orleans, and then adjacent to, because it's adjacent to those major highways, which cause significant wetland erosion and deforestation. In return, the degrading environment may intensify environmental stressors to human communities such as storm surge, flooding, and sea level rise. Being through several major disasters, the residents have adapted their way to living in less vulnerable, to be less vulnerable and more resilient to the environmental stresses. Really? They have? The dynamic interaction, competence, and evolvement of different environmental and human systems can be observed by land cover changes in remotely sensed images. Well, that's what I was saying in class last week. This change exercise will demonstrate how to use a fine time series of land cover images to analyze land cover changes in urban growth patterns from 1996 to 2010. All right, so we're going to open the Lab4 APRX and extracted data folder, and then look 96, and these are land use cover data in 4 different years from the NOAA CCAP database. The raster images are classified from Landsat images, including 7 land cover types under Anderson level class 1, and the value of each pixel is a specific land cover type: urban, agriculture, grassland, forest, water, wetland, and barren. You can check and uncheck different raster layers to visually observe land cover in different years. Alrighty, so let's drag those in. So let's get the extracted data folder onto our map. So we're going to open up, clicking on there and going to our folders. And then there's our land use folder for it. Seems like it all, oh, I guess I already put that in there. So I need to add a folder to this. So how do I do that? I add a folder connection, and I'm going to go into our I got to go to this PC. I got to go to the data D. I got to go to ArcGIS. I got to go to GIS Labs data, Lab 4, and say okie dokie. And then that one there is going to be added to favorites. I thought that also, oh, make default. All right, make that the default for this project and save. All right, so now I'll open this all up, and there's Lab 4 inside there, and there's all that data. I don't know. Where is all that Lab 4 stuff? Backups, import log, index, info. I don't see no data in there. Did I mess up in here? No, there it is, under data GDB. So there's our looks. So I'll just grab all this good old stuff. I'm opening up and just see what else is in there. I suspect if you're from the South, you don't appreciate me being a northerner, making an attempt to do your accent there. I'm gonna grab all that stuff and I'm gonna just all drag it all onto the map and just drop it there. And it should appear down in Louisiana. Boom. So it's going to zoom in automatically. And hey, there's our DEM. That's pretty cool. And if I turn that off, yeah. So there's that. Yeah, it's too cold for you? So going on. So we got the elevation and we've got the look from wherever that is. So we have here. So obviously then look is 2001 here, 1990, 2006 here, 2010, and there's 1996. So if we want to do a time series, we want to move 1996 up. So that's what it looked like in 1996. And there's got to be a legend to this, and they haven't put it in. Too bad. Unique values. So let me just check our legend here. It says 1 is urban, 2 is agriculture, 3 is grassland. So urban, agriculture, and grassland. So we've got to put that in here somehow. So there's got to be a label. There's value, and can we edit that, or can we add a field? Add unlisted values, more. It's not going to let me write that in there. There's a mask. Field 1 is value, and then there's count, but I really want. So I'm not happy that it's not showing those things, and I think I can go to the attribute table. Maybe it's the data design, domains, fields. But normally I would go to the attribute table and I would go to add field and I would put the type. Land type, I'll just put in here. And it should be, data type would be a text. And then I would highlight that. And then I should be able to close this by And what do you do? I guess when you close it, it tells you to want to save it. So I've saved it now. And that gives me land type. And one, it turned out, was, if you recall here, land is grassland, no, sorry, urban agriculture grassland. So I'm trying to remember that. Urban agriculture and grassland. So urban.
So that would be it.
All right.
20 minutes, and we can pay
Agriculture
when you come, right?
and grassland.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your help. Bye.
And then the other parts of it I can do. All right, so then I've put in forest, water, wetland, and barren while I paused it. And now when I get rid of this, it didn't do anything. What did that mean? I just lose what I did on my attribute table? I sure hope not, because that was a pain. Attribute table. No, it's there. So how do I make that appear here? Because it is there in the table. So if I want to show the field land type, there, now it comes up. All right, so I've got that. I guess the same, yeah, right. So I'm going to do the same thing for this. Maybe I can copy the entire, maybe I can't. I just want to automate and make things faster. But if I open up this attribute table as well, where's my attribute table? There it is. So I'm going to open up that one there, and it's got to have the same thing. I've got to add a field, and it won't let me add the field. Why won't it let me add the field? Because I didn't save the other. Maybe go save, and then save the project. And this one here is, I'm going to close up. This one here, I'm going to, it won't let me add a field. Is there a toggle that you can do to enable it? Because the other one was toggled. Is it edit metadata? No, maybe. Edit the metadata? No, it's not. It's adding a new row. I don't want to add a new row. So what the heck? I know that in QGIS there's ways of editing and then turning off the editing. And I assume the same is true here, but what is this? Add all values, add unlisted values. No, we don't want to do that. So somehow it's not letting me. Anyway, we do know that looking at this image, and I'll close this now, we know that it used to be in 1996, the wetlands were there, and there was forest cover in those dark green areas and grasslands in the blue, and there was agriculture, but urban was this green. And then when we look at that, we see that it's substantially changed. I don't get it. So in 2001, the water, so what? Wetlands and water? I don't even like the symbology. They're not the same in all of these. So I'm going to change this symbology to something that is more graded. And how do I, yeah, well, it's got to be discrete values. So it would be nice if they had organized these with discrete values that make sense. But if the color scheme is going to be biased toward the water, then we probably want to get it to be, maybe we'll do this. Maybe. So that's that color scheme. So I want to do the same thing here and take that same color scheme if I can find it. Yes, I picked. The funny thing is I don't even know what I picked. So let's go. I want something with blue at the end that has different colors. And so I'm going to put it into random stuff. What did I use here? I used this one that had a dark blue at the end, did I? No, I used this one that had purple. Really? I used one that had purple? I don't like that. I don't like that color scheme. I'm going to use then, use this for now. And then I'm going to use it for all of them just so I can see the difference. At least I'll know what I'm doing. And then they're all, and I can invert them too, because if I want to go invert, sort by symbols, reverse order. Yeah, I'm going to go like that and reverse the order. I'm going to do the same thing on this. I'm going to go more, and I'm going to go symbols, reverse order. Yeah, that's better. And then I'm going to do the same thing with all these. So I have some comparison. And it can really mess you up if you don't. So bingo boo, and then reverse order, symbols, reverse order, and then finally this 2010 data, and do the same thing to it, to it, and do it to it, do it to it, and then reverse order. So now when you look through the time series, you see that 1996 it looked like this, and our agriculture was in red, and our urban was in light green. I also want to change that. So yeah, I want these all things. I want to make urban look really sucky. So I'm going to take urban and make it like gray. There, now it looks like a Cancer, as well it should. And then in here, urban is the number. What number are you? You are 5. So 5 is going to be this gray as well. And then in here, number 5 is going to be this gray. And I can always manipulate these colors later. That's the Cancer that I want to see in there. And then 5 is that gray too. So let's see how the urban area has grown. 96, that was the urban. Thought I did urban. That's weird. So agriculture. So it was urban in 96 and then it turned into agriculture? I sure don't think so. I sure don't think so. Something's wrong here. Something is definitely wrong here. So what the heck? Why is this one showing urban as number 5? Or did I not get it right? Maybe it's not number 5 anymore because I changed the names and they're going, yeah, they're going in alphabetical order. That's why. Oh, lordy. All right, so 5 is not any longer. I guess what I have to do, and I did not do it, is I have to go back in here and go to the attribute table, and I've really got to be able to edit this and add a field. So I have to figure out why it's not allowing me to edit a field here. Maybe we have to turn it on. It doesn't do it. Clicking on it, clicking on value. That attribute table has to be editable. Editable. So edit, and then modify, or are we save? Save all edits. All right, so maybe I had not edited. Yeah, okay, so I hadn't saved the edited from this first one, so now I have to go and do it for this one. Add a field, and add the field is going to be called land type, and it is a data type is a text string, and highlight it, and then that we have that, we want to save that there. And then we have to go in and open the attribute table. And because it's based on number, we have to go back to our original numbers in the thing here. So one is urban agriculture grassland. So let's go back and do that. Urban agriculture grassland. So urban agriculture grassland. And then it is forest water wetland barren. Forest water wetland barren. Forest water wetland barren. Alrighty. That's what I really want to do is I want to be able to copy that. I guess I can't. So that information is now in there and I can save it somehow. Edit. Alright, it's just in there. I guess when I close it, adding fields, I can close that, close this, and now when I go to the symbology, and I tell it that I want to look at land type, bang, now we're there, and then I have to make the same colors that I did. So I would pick this ramp as I did in the last one, and then I would reverse it. Okay, now it's working, except that urban is going to be gray. And so when I leave that, yes, we see now that the urban areas are really beginning to grow from 96. But I have to do this to two more of these things. So let's go to the next one. Let me turn these off. And let's open this attribute table up. And let's add a field, which we can't do because we didn't save, as we've learned. So where's the saving portion? How do you map? I can save the whole thing, but it's still not letting me edit. Somebody's unsaved around here, and I don't know who's unsaved. Why is it unsaved? So when I click on this one, or maybe if I just, it's not going to let me. This one here, I close this out. This one here, the attribute table is there, the 96. And this one here is there, but okay, so you drives me nuts. So why won't you let me in to edit this? So you go to the attribute table. I'm gonna figure this out, and it won't let me add a field. This command is currently unavailable as unsaved edits. It tells us right there. Unsaved edits or the table or schema is read-only. Well, it's got unsaved edits. That's the problem. So something is unsaved somehow, somewhere. And how do I figure out what's unsaved? I mean, that's saving the whole project. That's not what they mean. It's the unsaved edits that we had. And you don't see where they are. Imagery, share, help, table. Table. Could be table. But there's nothing to save in the table there. Data, nothing to save there. It drives you nuts. Yeah, that's the field. There's nothing to save there. So something wacky is happening in terms of data that is unsaved. Let's see about this one here. Will this let us get into it? No, it won't. And again, it's because it says unsaved edits. And I just want to make it so it's editable. Maybe the symbology needs to be closed. No, that doesn't do anything. Last time there was a save thing that was up here. And there's a save under edit. All right, let's try that. Save all edits. Yes. There we go. Okay, so I don't know why I didn't see that, but it's there it is. Right, again, add a new field, call it land type, and make it a text. I don't know what highlight does. I'm just checking it to be fun. And I have to save that. And I guess by clicking on it, I save it that way. And then I can add again my rubric, which I thought would be cool if I could just paste it in, and I can't. So go back, and you don't really need to see this. Let me pause. All right, I put all those things in, and I'm immediately now going to go up and say save, and hopefully we won't have that problem. Do it while you're in the editing room. Then again, I can now take this one that I've just done, because I think I classified it right. No, I can't. That one there. Oh, that one there. This one here is what I did. I don't know. Okay, so once again, we're going in and we're adding the same field to this one here, which is land type, and then long turns into text. And then we click off of that, and it should save it. And then that's there, and then I got to do the same procedure. What happened to this one here? I thought that I had, let me look at this attribute table. Something's weird. That's Luke 6. What about Luke 10 attribute table? Yeah, that one I did. So this one here, I've still got to put the symbols on. So go to symbology and don't use value, use land type. And then we can select this color scheme and then we can reverse it. And then we can make the urban gray as hell. All right. So there's the gray urban growing like a cancer. We haven't yet done this attribute table. So if we want to edit that, then we have to go to edit. This looks like everything's saved, so maybe we can do that. So that's Luke 10, it's Luke 6 that hasn't been done. Luke 6, not Luke 6, it's under the Bible. And once again, I gotta put these in, so I'm gonna put you on pause. Okay, urban agriculture, grassland, forest, water, wetland, and then arrow down, barren. And then we got to make sure that it is saved. And then we can close that table. We can go to symbology. Oh, I'm not trust that that's the symbology for Luke 06. So I'm going to go back to symbology and say I don't want a value, I want the land type. And then I want to, looks like that is the right, always check it. So there's that. And then let's make it reverse so that the water appears green. And then urban is going to be gray as hell. Hell that is gray, a cancer. All right, now save that. And now we can clearly see that over time, so we had this little urban area, and then in 96, and then 5 years later, the city had grown, and after that, it had grown more, and then finally, it had grown like that. So you can see the encroachment of this icky stuff. Everything else seems to be somewhat stable. You don't see any change really. Yeah, so, and that's what the analysis will point out. So that's pretty cool. All right, you got the elevations, so we can do flood data there from hurricanes, and then there's the world imagery underneath it. All right, so now, what's the next procedure for this rapidly urbanizing and dangerous area? Well, you know, I mean, look, we might as well go in here and make water blue. I mean, it might as well, you know, even though it's not blue, and then wetlands can be green, that's fine. Do that for each of these as well, just so that we are able to see things in greater relief. So, you know, set up your map, and then all right. So clearly the water is changing. There used to be water up to there, and there's that little water over there. So whatever the Landsat is showing is not showing a huge difference in water. And then we'll come back and we will look at the how we do the changes. Okay. So that's going to be coming up next. All right. So long for now. We'll come back to this in the next episode.